My name is Oscar.
My name is Carl.
And this is Who Would Watch This? Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast. We watch a film, chapter the film, and try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're talking about Gamer, which currently has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 2.4 on Letterboxd, and a 5.7 on IMDb. Oscar, what's the plot?
In a future mind-controlled game, death row convicts are forced to battle in a Doom-type environment. Convict Cable, controlled by Simon, a skilled teenage gamer, must survive 30 sessions in order to be set free. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow, wobsy, wow. Holy shit, Carl. You guys can't see it because it is an audio medium. We will be using similar transitions to the style of the movie. So when we go back in time, it will be a harp sound effect, but just imagine a lot of wacky visuals.
I'm deeply saturated. I'm glaringly oversaturated, and then I'm deeply underlit.
I've just got a lens flare coming out of every orifice. It's pretty aggressive right now. Carl, should we go back to last week before we'd seen the movie?
Is there a way to do shaky cam but on a mic? What if I just shook this
You
for
can
a
just
while?
shake that. Yeah, you can just shake that.
We're doing Gamer. Is this doing anything? Because we're doing Gamer.
It's like you're like Homer Simpsoning
Yeah, I know.
the mic.
I'm sort of Bart Simpsoning this. We're doing Gamer. It's Gamer, Oscar. We're doing Gamer. Nah, but before I keep strangling it, is that fine if I fucked the equipment?
Who gives a shit?
Alright, should we go back in time to before we had watched this and do I say the line or do you?
No, you say it.
Okay, do we go back in
We
time?
kind of flip-flap it.
Let's go back in time to before we'd seen the movie when we tried to predict who we thought would watch this.
Carl, Gerard Butler is in our sights. That's right. And
Is he ever not in our sights?
He's in
'Cause
my-
he's always in my heart.
Oh, he's in my HUD he's in my reticle, my gun reticle. Gamer. Carl,
I reckon we've fucked this by doing a law-abiding citizen first, and I reckon everything else we picked, garbage.
Yeah, we gushed about that. That was the greatest film that's ever watched. And you went, oh, you know we're doing Gerard Butler? We've got to do Gamer. And then let out a long sigh. So I can only assume it has a similar energy to Law-Abiding Citizen.
Yeah, I think it's horrible. From memory, it is a bizarre film. It is the people that did Crank and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh.
It's
I really love Crank. If I remember correctly, we did the Ghost Rider one.
we did.
And that's like a studio movie made by the people that made Crank.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a description. I don't know if that's gonna I can't imagine a producer note on Crank being like, how can we make this, a 4-quadrant film? It's like it's just its own thing. It's just its own thing.
It's crazy they got Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance after Gamer. Like, I think they were like, Ghost Rider needs some edge, and it's such a who gives a fuck about Ghost Rider that you could give it to Neville Dean and Taylor. But like, I cannot wait for you to watch Gamer. Basically, Gamer's also from 2009, which I think is when Law Abiding Citizen came out. It really was the year of the butts. I
think he had just been hot off 300.
Yeah, he probably just was asked to do so many things. And in my opinion, he only picked the right projects. I got to tell you, this movie was all the hype in high school. Nobody liked it, but I think everyone wanted to like it. Like Gerard Butler being controlled.
I like a bunch of 15-year-old boys just like, I really wanted to get behind that, but it just didn't have the gravitas of Call of Duty to really kind of capture my spirit.
I'm going to assume we liked it, to be honest. I think we all must have been like, that's whatever. There was no law-abiding citizen. I wasn't burning copies of it for everybody. I was very much like did we all get...
Why didn't it capture hearts and minds?
Why did it?
Why didn't it?
Oh, why didn't it? I think because it's simply so horrid to watch. From my memory, this movie's so jarring. Like, it's a shot every second. I remember it's really shaky. I think the plot you can't follow. And I just remember there being so many characters, but it's so short. It's just, from memory, this is a tough one. And I remember this one being particularly bad. Pros, Logan Lerman's in it. Great.
Come here for the chrism, guys. There's an actor that pops up, and he when he's Percy Jackson, I'm like, good job, him.
Right?
That's good
when
stuff.
Logan Lerman was all the hype, and you're like a gay teenager, you're like, oh yeah, I'll watch Logan Lerman.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was
it's a gay thing.
I thought his acting. No, I'm just attracted to the boy and Gamer. No, well, has he? I guess in my mind he's still around, but I guess he's not, is he?
No,
Damn.
I think he's in things, but
Yeah.
he's not exactly I'm not going to the latest Logan Lerman film.
Speak for yourself. See, Poker will be in Wolf out too.
Yeah, could you name Logan Lerman
I couldn't
film?
tell. I couldn't.
A
tell
Logan
you,
Lerman picture?
I couldn't tell you one post 2010, except
Yeah.
maybe the second Percy Jackson.
Do you remember when people were like, make him Poseidon in the new Percy Jackson show? And I'm like, what? He's only like 30. Like,
In Hollywood, that's pretty much decrepit.
yeah, that's like, he's on his way out.
You better kill him. That guy could play a 5,000-year-old god. Yeah, of course he could. Of course he could. Carl, who do we think is going to watch Gamer? Off the name alone and the Gerard Butler of it alone, I assume middle-aged dads at Walmart.
I got to tell you right now, this was for like the youngest possible high school boy, right? Like you're telling me you got Gerard Butler, hot off of law-abiding citizen, in my idea. It's about people controlling like criminals killing each other.
It does feel like a studio exec being like, my son's playing Call of Duty all the fucking day.
Yeah.
It's like, what if like...
It gives that movie monster trucks. You know when like a kid was like, what if there was a monster in the truck, Dad? And he was like, here's $100 million. Get someone to make that with Lucas Till.
It feels like another one of just the disposable like boys that are like, are they gonna no, they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it. I think only Timmy's really made it out of that.
Oh, for sure. I reckon these guys were rolling the dice between like Logan Lerman or Dylan O'Brien, and they were just like, what, he signed on to Maze Runner? That's not going to work out, surely. They're not going to do 3 of them.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4.
Oh, yes, but Oscar, what are you expecting with this?
Okay, again, off the name, I'm... It seems... I guess my only thing would be like, it seems like a dated property of like a studio exec being like, we got to make some gamer stuff for all this stuff. But it seems weird that you're like, doesn't seem like it's very like commercially accessible. So I'm quite excited to see how these two match. It doesn't seem like a film that really would... I don't know. I hope there's a little bit of crank in there. I guess if there's the crankheads out there.
I mean, I remember being really violent. Like, I think that was the other thing that really sold it, was everybody just being like, I want I want Gerard Butler violently killing people. And I think everybody loved Crank. Like, I remember my friend group loved Crank.
Oh yeah, who
There
doesn't?
were movies that were in constant rotation, actually. Here you go. This is a high schooler in the 2000s. It's Crank, Law-Abiding Citizen, Battle Royale, and...
Wow, you guys were pretty good. I felt we just had Project X, and we were just kind of like, that's it.
How ghastly.
You didn't like Project X? Project X is so good.
It's not that good.
It's so fucking good.
It's not that... Do you
I'm on
really...
the pursuit of happiness with a no MDMA.
Do you think...
4-star film.
You want to do that? You want to do?
I don't
you
want to
put money where
no.
your mouth is, and we'll do Project X.
No,
here?
I don't want to do Project X.
Actually,
it's too good. It's too good.
Speaking of found footage movies, though, which Project X was found footage, right?
Yeah.
The what's it called? I remember people were eating Chronicle up. I remember a lot of people watching Chronicle.
Yes.
That was a good high school film.
Yes.
When you're 15, films hit. Any movie fucking hits. God, I wish I was 15 again. I wouldn't be so cranky. Like, the other day when I was watching Mission Impossible, and I was just like, oh, God, what the fuck is this film? I was 15, I would have loved that film.
Just like, that old man's off a plane. Holy shit.
Yeah,
fuck
for
me,
sure.
God. That guy from Risky Business. I assume most 15-year-olds would say.
You know what killed Mission Impossible for me? Watching Law-Abiding Citizen that week. Watching the most thrilling Gerard Butler movie ever.
We need to go. We need to get this done.
No, let me just talk about this, okay? You're telling me they spent $400 million on the latest Mission Impossible movie, and it's not as good as Gerard Butler's Law-Abiding Citizen from 2009? Fuck off. Fuck off with that. Anyway, we can go, whatever. Let's do...
Carl, we're coming clean right now. We do not do the last week's tonights all the time last week. Sometimes we do a couple in a row.
Yeah.
That's on us, okay? As a result...
I mean, it's also the easiest way to do it.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly. We sit down the schedule, go,
recording.
Okay, IMDb, let's just... Yeah, constantly it's the easy way to do it. And constantly we're like, oh, fuck, we should just...
Here's the thing, we'll usually do like 4 or 5, just back to back, baby.
Or then maybe like a day before we're like, we gotta quit it. It's a mess. Okay, either way, it's a mess.
Yeah. My favorite ones are when we'll come in and we'll record it and then immediately go watch the film and then come in and do it. I like those. I think that should be the pattern.
That's the energy.
That's the energy you want. I think you can tell actually if we've done it seconds before watching the film, because I think we always chuckle about how wrong we were like an hour and a half later.
But the reason why is because we fucked up. We've got Geostorm, we've got Nims Island, and we've got a couple other Gerard Butler vehicles in this storm. But we were like, okay, shit, we need to record 2 of these tomorrow. I ran out and went home and I watched Geostorm and then Boost Up Gamer, and then I logged it on Letterboxd, and Carl went, hey, why'd you watch Geostorm? I went, what do you mean? We're doing Geostorm and Gamer tomorrow. He's like, no, we're doing Nims Island and Gamer. So I want to preference this. I have done 3 movies I went to stay up until 1 a.m. watching some of the worst triple feature ever known to man. But I did start this with Geostorm. So that's my preference for why my opinion has become this whole
I know,
film.
and now you've got to hold on to that until like a week from now when we actually bother to fucking
I
bother to watch Geostorm.
Oh my god, it's leaving my brain. It left my brain seconds in.
But I loved this because I had just finished watching Gamer and Nim's Island back to back, and then went to log them on Letterboxd and saw you'd locked Geostorm, and I knew you weren't meant to watch Geostorm, but I was worried you were going to force me to watch Geostorm on the night, so I had to text you and be like, you're wrong, you need to double check, and I'm not touching Geostorm in the next 48 hours, so you need to fuck up and watch Nim's Island.
It was a harsh message to receive. I don't think many people in their lives have gotten a message like, shut up and watch Nim's Island. And it's, it's a learning moment.
Yeah.
However, this is why I've come into this film pretty
To
aggressive.
do, what is that, 4.5 to 5 hours
5 hours of Gerard
Jerry
Butler in it.
Butts?
Yeah, it's a weird Tuesday night, I gotta tell you. Going into the work the next day, like, what'd you get up to last night? I'm like, I'd rather just not tell you. It's less weird.
Yeah. I had to cut, like Ecstasy, I had to cut Gamer with Nim's Island to get through Gamer. It was horrible. I hated watching Gamer. I was like, oh, just give me an hour in Nim's Island. I was like, oh, look, colors, the way they're meant to be.
Let's get into Gamer, Carl. Straight off the bat, I think I kind of like little bits of it. You were like...
Everyone likes little bits of Gamer.
That's not a crime. You gave it such a horrible score. You such a horrible... 1 star, you like nothing out of it.
Can we... I just want to talk about the thing I love first.
Okay,
because I sent you a message
You
when
did.
you were like, hey, I've started Gamer now
Yeah.
that I've finished Geostorm.
So broken.
And I
yes.
was like, you should have started with Nim. Anyway, you sent me a message and I was like, I think there is, in my opinion, notoriously known, the best scene of the film. Do you want to take a stab in the dark at which it is?
I would love to say it's the big ending, right?
What do you mean by the big ending?
The ending sequence?
Like the...
Dance?
Yes.
Huge.
It is Dexter doing a lip sync dancing.
He has a bunch of henchmen also dancing and clicking, whistling, and then Gerard Butler fights them. I really do think the film is good because of this.
I think that scene is... everyone loves that scene.
Yeah.
That is a great scene.
That
I
has
don't know.
elevated it so much. I was on the fence going, this is fun. There's little bits of it. There's definitely bits I'm like, oofed. But then that comes on, you're like, man, he is an actor. I've never seen Dexter, so I assume he's similar to that in Dexter.
Oh, dude, he's so good in Dexter. I gotta tell you right now, I think the only reason any of this is enjoyable is because of his performance.
Yes.
I think that
Anytime
guy
he's on
is
screen,
killing it.
Let's get into Gamer, huh? We'll start with the world building, because it's kind of fun. We've got essentially Dexter. I don't know what his real name is. I feel like it's Michael something.
It is Michael something. I'm gonna look. I used to know it when I was watching Dexter.
We all knew it when we were watching Dexter. That's not a fucking claim to fame.
You haven't got Paramount Plus watching the new seasons of Dexter? You're not watching Dexter's original
Yes,
Sin?
I'm streaming it on my phone on the bus.
You're not watching the new Patrick Gibson vehicle with Christian Slater, Dexter Original Sin, now on Paramount Plus? I did watch New Blood, and it was okay.
Yes. So anyway,
Michael C. Hall. That's
Michael
it.
C. Hall is essentially the, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon, just like the oligarch of oligarchs of like tech industry. He
And
pretty
he's
much,
like Southern.
yes, he has a southern draw. He's very campy, and he's kind of chewing every scene.
He's absolutely been told very clearly, do what you want. And he's like, right, but Gerard Butler's not really doing anything, then like make up for it then.
Yeah, yeah. What Gerard Butler has put down, I guess he's probably very tired from doing law-abiding citizen. He's like, can I just do one, just a Grusley man? They're like, fine, but we'll have to do. Michael will do a lot of work to cover for you. It's a group project. We're all in this together.
It gives everybody was on hard drugs, but Gerard Butler. Like it felt like he was, for whatever reason, I don't know, fighting for custody or something, and was like, guys, I can't do it during Gamer.
I just need a pause.
I gotta
okay?
tell you, everybody else is definitely on it. When I got surprise shots of Ludacris, actually, you know what? No, he's bored as hell.
Stop. We need to get into everything because the character reveals are too good. We can't blow our load like this film. Okay, starting off, we're in a warehouse. Should we just explain the editing style and the visual style of the film?
I don't know how to describe it other than just saying horrible, right?
I don't like it. But I gotta tell you, I'm kind of jonesing it. I don't mind it. Okay,
I think
it. Here's the thing: it gives you a headache.
Yeah.
I like that style. I like the Crank films. I like they're going quite experimental. They're throwing everything at the wall. It's just very aggressive.
I think for me is the Crank film and narrative and Jason Statham's performance lends itself to them directing it that way.
Yes.
This is a studio film. This has
Which is
surprising amount of
bonkers.
celebrities in it.
It is a studio film, you're
Yeah.
right. 'Cause
It's also high concept. Like, I think, like, at the time, like, this is, I can tell you, broad strokes, like, it's just like this being a film without knowing how it turned out, you'd be like, that could be a hit. That's a fun
it
premise.
feels ahead of its time. I know, like, it might feel a bit like cliche that like video game comes to life. It feels like the most.
There's literally nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's like, if anybody else directed this, I'm sure people would be like, oh yeah, gamer.
I feel like here's the thing. What's that movie with Ryan Reynolds and like it's not Fall Guy. It's Is it Fall Guy?
Yeah.
Detested it. Hate it. Horrible film. I'm saying that. This film is doing pretty much everything that's doing 10 years earlier and much more interesting.
But which one's a hit film?
Oh,
Which one has over 1 million logs on Letterboxd? I'll give you a chance to guess.
I get it. It does start and it does give you a headache. They're in this big warehouse. They're doing kind of like a mission. They're sort of the mission is just them walking from A to B and just flips and shit, and it's kind of fun.
It's when they're... I think the thing that annoys me the most in this direction is I can't follow what's happening in the action sequences, whereas I think in Crank I was really able to, like, get it. Whereas they're cutting to such odd angles after things have happened and glitching him forward as well on purpose that it's just
It's
insane.
taking a lot of aesthetics from just like, I guess what like an old man thinks of gaming. There's some shots I quite like, which is them doing like a third person.
When
with
they
the
do the
camera.
third person, I think that they're just good because they're the longest takes. They're the ones where they're like, we held it for 3 seconds, you fucks. Like,
It is so aggressive at the start. And again, you are right. Like, it hasn't got any narrative reason to be this bonkers at the start. I guess they're in like a war zone. But yeah, it starts off aggressively.
I would love to know when they turned in this as a finished film, what the producers said and what the test audiences said as well. I'd love to know.
You'd panic so much because what do you... I don't know. It's weird. It's a studio film.
Did you light any scene?
What?
Did you light any of the scenes? What do you mean?
'Cause sometimes they light it really nicely, and then you're like, "What was this scene?" It's like, "Oh, we just shot that like on a camcorder from like my shoe." And you're like, "Oh, okay."
We went out to a salt mine, and it was so glaringly white out there. No, we couldn't film.
Why didn't you white balance? We tried. It killed us.
We thought John Leguizamo would be the one that would be able to do it all, but he couldn't carry the scene either.
Yeah, so he finishes his mission and then goes back to... Gerard Butler is a criminal. We get told that. He's getting controlled...
He is a part of the film.
Yeah.
He's a part of the game. Slayers. Slayers is created by Michael C. Hall.
Yes.
But his claim to fame prior to Slayers is Society.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Society.
Yes. He says it's a society.
It is a society.
Yes.
It's major Joker core.
Yes.
That's what's so they're just like, but it's crazy that in Society you can also like get killed.
Yeah. But isn't that kind of powerful?
I don't really
Yeah,
get.
but you have to think about it, and that's
Yeah.
because I just think, you know, a game you don't get it. And that's why you're kind of slow. Okay,
Yeah.
we would get it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going full Joker mode
For
We
sure.
live in a
Yeah,
society.
you're giving joke. You're
Thank you.
giving it.
Thank
yeah.
you. I cut myself.
You're
on a
giving
Zupa
fully
duper.
a deux. Okay, you know you're giving
I'm
fully
always
a
trying to
deux.
give fully a deux.
We're all trying to give Folly a deux. Neveldine and Taylor are trying to give Folly a deux. Tell you what, if Neveldine and Taylor had done Folly a deux, that movie would be a classic.
I honestly
Calling
think-
it right now.
I just think
them doing a musical. Fuck yeah.
It would be quite fun. I think because if they had like the groundworks of like we have to keep it at bits. We've got restraint. This one feels like they've got. I guess they've got a plot as a restraint. It's weird when the plot kicks in because I'm like, whoa, it's weird.
Did
you guys
they
are doing-
write this? Did they write Crank or did they just like direct Crank? Are they like writing
They wrote
partners?
that. They wrote that in Crank. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they wrote this Crank, maybe Crank 2, and then what's the other one? The Ghost Rider one, and then they've kind of fizzled out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you simply just can't make movies this expensive.
Was it
Like
very
this.
expensive? It feels like it's like a nice, fun studio, like a little student film. But you're probably right. It probably cost quite a bit of money.
This cost $50 million in 2009, so pretty expensive.
Yeah, pretty expensive.
I mean, they've got a lot of locations, a lot of explosions, a lot of like costuming, a lot of blood and gore.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of actors.
Well, it's kind of like a sci-fi film. I think there are parts of it I really like. I quite like the sort of newscast, which is like it's done on like this green screen.
Love the news.
Yes, the
Love
news
how
is
they
so
do the
cheeky.
news.
The news is so cheeky. They're just like swearing. It's like, nah, that's fuck. We're
Well,
doing this.
smoking on air.
Yeah.
I think the world, like almost crumbling and being shit,
Yes,
is like a great idea for world building.
it kind of feels like I don't know. I feel like because just it's on my mind. Like Fall Guys, like they were just like, here's the internet, or like Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's like here's the eBay store. Whereas this feels like how the internet would really like morph, like come into life. It's just a bunch of weird NPCs, and then also just like some vile news stuff of just behind a green screen being like, that's shit, huh? That's crazy.
I think it's almost like riding on this idea that everyone's living in such augmented realities. Nobody really cares about what's happening outside, and thus nobody cares. So that why would you put effort into telling the news when so few people?
Well,
are
I feel
fucking
like if you go
watching
like on YouTube, you go on like how I assume there's like quite big news channels on YouTube that probably have really shit production compared to the actual news.
yeah, for sure.
That like gain more views than most, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's got to be, I don't know. Who was the news guy on YouTube for a while? This joke will hit when I say his name.
You're gonna nail it, I guess. Mr. Beast, does he have a new news channel?
Probably. DeFranco?
Oh yeah. What's that though? Imagine him,
Yeah.
but like he could swear. You know, he's been edgy. Yeah, wow. You know.
If DeFranco could swear, do you reckon that was their pitch?
Oh, yeah, they're
All
like-
the producers were like, "Who the fuck is DeFranco? You mean Dave or James?"
No, DeFranco, get on with the fucking shit. Anyway, I do like that everyone is backing him to make it. So essentially, our big villain is like, hey, if you survive 30 rounds or like...
Which I think is too many rounds.
You reckon the 30 match?
30's a lot. I reckon it should be like 10.
Nah, that's a lot. You get a lot of people coming in. I'm talking like,
Yeah, I think most of them would die.
I don't know. Compare this to like, I don't know, like a Fortnite win. You've got like 30 victory royales, but that's a lot.
He
know?
isn't, but is it
No,
last
no,
man
no.
standing? It's not. It's just,
It's not last man
it's just
standing.
a time
It's just
limit.
a mission. It's just like a
Yeah.
mission. It's vague.
Why do they even bother to put people in that can't move? Like, why is somebody just like sweeping? Why would you be like risk your life to be a
that's fun.
sweeper?
I think it's fun world building. I think it's just them being like, fuck you, essentially. Like, we're killing them. Like, they're not trying to release people. This is not the game. I like he's just like, we're essentially killing a bunch of.
So is the idea they don't know how they're going to be used in it?
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So they could have just put Gerard Butler as a sweeper.
No, I think he'd already become. I think
Or
it's
because once
it's-
he's
it's like-
paired with
it's like-
Logan Lerman, it's fine.
No, it's like Hunger Games rules. You know, they've got like, you know, it's like there's good PR behind Katniss. I want Katniss to win, and everyone wants a victor, Carl.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: the whole world is on his side, and wouldn't you get involved with this
Oh,
guy?
for sure.
If I knew a guy who killed for murder and then was in a magical game that some boy is controlling, and if he gets 30 victory royales in a row, he gets freed. Like I'm 50-50. I'm watching though.
When Logan Lerman is introduced, he is offered £50 million just to give Cable away, and he doesn't take it. What is this guy's life?
You have to set it up because it's not that
Oh,
someone's
I know.
like...
Yeah, you can set it
yeah,
up.
it's not like
It's-
someone's like, hey, I've got like a little business deal.
Yeah.
He's like sitting in like a VR headset, like
a
auditorium.
room where every wall is circular and a TV.
It's like a big pop-up ads, and everyone's just like,
Yeah.
"I'll show you my tits,
Yeah.
please, God,
and
I love you so
every
much."
time he gets a call, it's automatically answered,
Yeah.
and he's talking like he doesn't have the power to decline anyone. He could be in there with it's weird. There's
Because he's
no
saying like
barriers.
these are like scam like people, right? I assume that the money's like a scam, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
I would. It seems like these are like pop-up ads, but for your like home world.
But why has he got pop-up ads?
Well, because I think
I just thought he was answering any essentially like doorbell to his internet.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep, I'll let everything in all the time. And they're all kind of real and kind of not.
Yes, I think this is a scam call. I love it though.
You're right.
Yes.
Okay, now it occurs to me it probably is a scam
Yes.
call. But I also don't think they're setting up like, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what it's trying to say.
No. I agree. I don't know how
Because he
the
would be
internet
offered a
works.
lot of money. Isn't it like the best player of Fortnite? Like,
Yeah, probably.
really
Yeah,
rich?
Yeah, very.
because in the same time,
That's just so. Isn't that like fucking best guy? Like mega cool and rich. Like yeah, man. Mr. Fortnite, they call him. He's kind of the best.
the guy that can do the chicken dance.
Oh, you are so
has the
fucking
money.
old. You're so fucking old.
I don't know.
I'm scared of it. I don't get
I
it.
don't get it. An island for that long? I think I don't know what this situation even is because he doesn't have parents. I don't know if he is or isn't living alone. His sister calls at one stage and is like, "Mom and Dad are going to cut you off." I feel like he would have his own Like, he would be just as big as... He's even shown on the newscast as being as, like, part of cable as anything else.
Yes.
You know, he is cable.
I don't think he's made any money. I think, like, it's a bit of, like this isn't his job. It's kind of like an anomaly in the game that, it's odd that these people are doing so well. This guy might make it. I don't think he's made any money. Like, how are you going to sponsor essentially a criminal getting off jail? You know, they get 30. You can't. Maybe Squarespace might chuck you a little sponsorship.
Squarespace would definitely do it, or at least what's the food? HelloFresh would back this. Surely,
HelloFresh 100%. Like, if he gets 30 wins, guess what? 30% off for you.
HelloFresh backs everything, even us, and we said no.
Yeah,
we said no.
We're not sluts. Okay, come on.
Okay, I don't need a rotten tomato in a box. I already buy my rotten tomatoes from Woolworths.
I buy them and then leave them in the fridge for 2 weeks. It's really easy.
I know. It's like I lie to myself that I'll have a vegetable. It's never happened.
Do you use HelloFresh?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
But you get sick of it.
You want Marley Spoon. That's the good one.
Oh my God. If we got a Marley Spoon,
we'd
be shoving that down your throats, guys. Listeners, oh my God. The second we get Marley Spoon.
Yeah, here's the thing. Guys, if you know someone from Marley Spoon, put them in touch with us. Ask wwtpodcast@gmail.com. Ask them to ask us to be a sponsor of Marley Spoon.
Oh my God. And then suddenly, this is going to be pretty aggressively ads.
It's going to be us fucking cooking. Literally cooking.
There's going to be a low sizzle in the background of all of
Constant
this.
sizzling.
Constantly will take pauses to eat.
I'm going to be chopping and chomping at the bit. Oh my God, give me some get me some Marley Spoon. Unless, here's the thing, I'm not touching Dinnerly.
Get Dinley the fuck out of here. Could you
right?
imagine? If Dinley emails us, I'm gonna plant a bomb. I'm gonna plant a bomb in their head office, okay?
I was on Dinnerly for a while because it was the cheaper offering than HelloFresh.
Yeah.
And
what was it? 4 cents for a bag of flour?
It was essentially like, here's an onion, try.
Go and go on then. Yeah. Shove it up where you think it would go. You moron. How much is that? Was that like a fair price?
I don't know. I thought it was good when I was really busy and I needed to just like have lunches. Yeah. And it was essentially like $6 a portion. Yeah. So it was like, nobody gives a shit about having a nice lunch. You know, like you want a nice dinner.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a lunch option, it was fine. But my God, were they like, I gotta tell you, like by like the 7th month I was with them, it was just like a box with a razor just saying, do it. Like,
we've already got your money. You paid us for 3 months. God, we're up.
Yeah.
We don't need you anymore. You idiots.
The rest, like the most attractive of the recipes was stuck together. That was really upsetting. Just juices everywhere.
So he doesn't.
So he's getting a lot of them.
He's getting a lot of them, but he's not taking them. So he is. So I don't think he's poor. He also. I guess this is like his internet, but he's also just like buying stuff in like the. I don't know if there's like the Fortnite store.
How does customization work? Does somebody then have to go and quickly make that and have it ready for the next game?
I guess so. I think so. Is the big villain like a game? Like, is he like a Call of Duty? Like, does he own Epic Games?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
Like, what's his like? Is he more like the army stuff, or is he more Epic Games? Because it seems like quite a good game.
Well, it's crazy because his end goal is just owning the world.
Yes.
So it's odd that he was like, it's society, and then it's Slayers, and then it's domination.
Yeah.
Really quick rise for him,
Classic
to be honest.
steps, I'll be honest. Yeah. That's how most dictators
would
want to do it.
Would you use society? I just don't think I would.
What, you mean their like internet service, or like
the one that's just like people hanging about in a square?
I don't know. They've got that for like VR chats, which is like the biggest equivalent. I feel like in a lot of these movies they go, you could really like, fall into it. And I just think you're on there for an hour, you go, I am not in reality. It's funny, but I'm deeply sick. This is disgusting.
Like, these people are killing each other. Like, it's crazy that I think, to me, anybody would do society, like, play it, I guess. I get that they sort of go, you're only going to be in society if you're, like, poor. For example, Gerard Butler's wife's character plays society.
It is crazy that it is taking, I guess, like, what's it? Ready Player One. It has done a lot of these concepts before a lot of these big franchises, which is funny.
Yeah,
I gotta give it that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think doing stuff a bit more interesting. Ready Player One was just like, everyone just sort of hangs out. We're all trying to find the third key. Going backwards in a racetrack. I know it's been talked about, but come on, that's the first thing you do.
It's the first thing you do. Going to The Shining? Of course, that's where the other key is.
Dodoy.
Dodoy.
I would have looked there day second.
Yeah.
Second.
Man, I will never get Steven Spielberg's obsession with Mark Rylance.
Oh, well, then you haven't watched Bridge of Spies, Carl. He sits in a cell for most of the film. God, he
I know, he keeps on going. Would it help? I know, and they gave him a goddamn Oscar.
They gave him an Oscar, and he went on that fun little hat. I feel like he's wearing a hat in that film for a while. It's a great film. You
Dude, the man loves a hat.
Oh,
okay.
Well, here's the thing: his little head deserves it. You know, he looks cold.
His head does deserve
bald, but he deserves a little hat.
Yeah.
Hat.
What's Mark Rylance up to these days?
I don't know. He was a really big 2014, 15, and
Yeah.
16, and I guess was like, what else am I going to do? I shouldn't have been this big.
Yeah. It must have been crazy for him to wake up one morning and they're like, everybody loves Mark Rylance. And he's like, what do you mean everyone? They're like, well, everyone in Hollywood. We can't get a gauge on if anyone cares about you.
Well, who would? How many teenage girls are like, oh my god, that Mark fucking Rylance? Holy shit.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to the new Mark Rylance film tonight. Can I go? All my friends want to go.
All the girls with a big poster of Mark Rylance. He's just sort of doing that
He's
stance.
just doing the BFG. Just doing the BFG.
Oh man, him and Spielberg must be. Imagine them chatting and just like, what would a film about gamers be about, huh? I don't know, but they'd probably do races.
I hear Timothy Chalamet's deeply intimidated by Mark Rylance's pull on the internet. Like, deeply intimidated.
Well, that Mark Rylance lookalike contest did bonkers. Remember
My
that?
God, it did so well, honestly. And I know he's jealous because everybody at SNL loves Mark Rylance.
How do we go into Mark Rylance?
Is he not in this?
I feel like you know what? Actually, saying that though, if I could be Mark Rylance in the game,
Oh, I'd do it.
Then I'd
I'd
do
do
it.
it in a goddamn. Then
I-
I'd get it.
Yeah, no, I
Here's
get
the
it.
thing: if I'm 15 years old and they're like, "Guys, gamers coming out with Mark Rylance," I'd be like, "Oh yeah, put it into my veins."
Yeah, fuck it. I know it's brainwashing me. Fuck it. I want to be in that bad boy.
Okay, so between Slayers and between the Society, we've also got the Humans with a
Yes.
Z. The
Yeah.
Humans. They're led by Ludacris.
Ludacris has, and I really do think he must have done, it's a great performance. He is on a big screen, and they've got a fisheye lens about 3 centimeters away from his face, and then they've got a couple to the left and the right, and then he said every single line he had to say in about 3 minutes.
And they cut around him flubbing the line as well for the
Yeah.
glitch effect. It
Yeah.
was great.
It's really
It was
good.
a one-take wonder. This is easily one of his best performances up there with Fred Claus. He was phenomenal in Fred Claus.
He was Freddy Claus.
Yeah, right? And he was a little elf that DJs.
Man, he was.
They give him too much screen time.
They give him more. Oh, wait, in Fred Claus or in this? Because they give
Both.
Oh yeah, because I don't really care about
My
the
favorite thing was when they killed him off screen. They were like, and by the way, on your way here, we killed the humans.
I love the close up of him dying because they were like, "Huh, you really?" They're like, "He got shot in the stomach, just below the frame. Don't worry about it. Just
Yeah.
don't worry."
They don't want him to leave that room.
I'm pretty sure Ludacris like peeks his little eye out, like, "Is like, have you got the shot yet?" It's like, "We need to get one more shot." Come
I
on,
reckon he just sort of laid down and they were like, what's going on, Ludacris? And he was like, I'm killing myself in the film. And they're like, what do you mean? And he's like, write me out now. And he was like, okay, everybody else lay down, I guess.
What is
and
that?
you've all
What is their
died.
point? What is their point? I guess they broadcast the big bad at the end, but other than that, they're
Do
a bad
they? Because
society,
in the end,
bad rebellion.
I gotta tell you right now, this movie's got so many characters. We've got the media, we've got the humans, we've got the villain, we've got the gamer, we've got. I don't think Logan Lerman really pays off as a character. We've got the wife, we've got the wife's kid, we've got society, we've got Slayers, and then we've got the world domination plot. We've got then the world building happening behind it. These things don't intersect in the slightest.
No.
It just gets to the end, and Gerard Butler's like, "Think about me stabbing you," and then that happens.
You also forgot Terry Crews who's in this.
Oh my God.
He's sent in.
He's so jacked.
He's so fucking jacked. My God.
Remember when they were like, if you needed a jacked person, it was Terry Crews or
Yeah.
The Rock, but then The Rock got famous. They're like, it's just Terry Crews.
Just Terry Crews, and then Terry Crews signed up for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, and then
Are
he just
you
stopped
shitting
being
me?
in things.
We have no jacked guys in Hollywood anymore. What the fuck are we meant to do?
Mm.
We're at a goddamn. You think Mark Rylance could pick up
It was
the
Lanky Boys. Huh? It was as soon as they were like, hey, Terry Crews is out, Lanky Boys is in.
Yeah.
Exhibit A, challenges.
It's actually exactly like Time's Up, pretty
it's
much.
exactly
The second
that.
the Muscle Boys come in, the Rap Boys come in. It's just this horrible.
I think it was great. You could always do like a little Venn diagram because it's like the Rap Boys, it's Terry Crews, and then Mark Rylance in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's like on the spectrum of 2000 to 2020.
Yeah, and that's also the spectrum of like sexuality. Of just everyone wants that, you know.
Oh,
Everyone
for
wants
sure.
that, yeah.
I'm into those 3 circles, and that's it.
Yeah.
Gotta tell you right now, if Mark Rylance was as jacked as Terry Crews and Rat Boy, I'd be so so into it.
Oh my god, yeah, he wouldn't even need a hat anymore. That's how good he would be. Fuck, he's good.
He is good. I think the best thing that happened to Terry Crews' career was them figuring out he could do like comedic timing.
Yes.
Because I don't think he is I guess excited in this film.
I don't know. He's playing like just like an insane murderer.
Yeah.
And maybe because I've just seen him do comedic stuff for like so many years now. You just
I just
think
don't
like,
buy it.
No.
He is so good in Idiocracy. Like
I
I love him in
he's so fun in
Idiocracy.
that, isn't he?
He is. I think he's just sort of miscast here. I don't get this.
Yeah.
You know what is I think a better movie than Gamer that now we have to do on the podcast because I think it's also around that 2007 2008 mark. Jason Statham's Death Race.
Oh, I thought that Neville Dean and these guys directed that one. I swear to God, I remember them directing that. But then I don't think they have they? But is it very similar? I feel like it's...
Yeah, it is. It's criminals racing to get free.
Yes. And I feel like it's fun, but I feel like it's super energetic. I feel like they got cameras.
Yeah.
I just always thought they did that.
In my memory, Death Race is all right.
Yeah.
Do we do a Statham month or a Death month? So anything with the movie Death in it. We'll play
fuck
Death
it.
Standing 2.
Oh my God, why not? You know, it's Australia. Why not? God, I want to drink some Monster Energy. That's all I want to fucking get behind. Oh my God. Oh my Christ. We do get the, I don't know, like it's like the 28th or 29th big battle. They're in like a motocross sort of game. I don't know. It's fun though. But essentially, we start learning that, oh shit, the big bad might be not wanting Gerard Butler to pass.
So why is this? Because then...
I think it was very similar to Hunger Games. Like, they don't really want people to finish the thing. It's fun. It's the hope, but they want to.
Why does he care? He's making billions. Apparently, when the humans intercept his feed for like an hour, they say he lost billions. So this must be making him so rich. Why does he care if a criminal goes back on the streets? Everyone loves him.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's funny because I feel like
sorry. It's because he framed him for murder. Of course he doesn't want him out.
Yes, no,
Oh my
sorry.
God, I feel like a fucking idiot. Either cut that or just let me... that's dumb on me. I'm sorry, this movie's flawless. I would like to apologize to Neville Dean and Taylor, and I would like to just take a back seat.
Yeah, totally.
You can talk for a while. Can I bring up someone I want to talk about from the
hit me.
film? The mum decides she's now making a fair bit of money from society. She wants to go talk to someone about getting her kid back.
Yes.
This guy is like, there's no way your husband's finishing. Your daughter's with a wealthy family.
I love this set as well because it's just this big warehouse, just him behind a desk. He goes, "Oh, brother, what do you want? Oh, your kid? No, you can't. So much paperwork. I'm not doing all that." There's a lot of characters here that don't really belong, but don't they all? Don't they all?
This movie just has constant like jumps of characters. Keith David walks in at one stage.
He interrogates Logan Lerman. He's just like, "You want a peanut butter sandwich?" Like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Man, I love that
pistachio butter," and then never again.
Yeah,
it's crazy what they've got people to
they
do.
Were they kind of like they're like? Oh, sorry. My main critique of this film is it's just Spy Kids 3. It feels like the exact same production of Spy Kids 3 of just like Neville Dean Taylor had a bunch of pals, but I guess they weren't like George Clooney level. They were like Keith David, like C-list, D-list celebrities. And they were like, we've got them all around. Just come around and we'll just make the film in my backyard.
I think what it's also giving is we shot a lot of footage with all of these characters and subplots, and the test screenings were so bad, they just said this has to be a 90-minute film or we're not putting it out.
Yeah. It's weird because I do think at the start it's going a bit like avant-garde. We don't mind like taking our time, spending, and then they're like, "No, we're locking in. We're doing the plot. We're locking in, doing the plot.
Yeah,
don't even bother."
And it's not, and we're not really moving, and there's too many characters to really make sense of anything that's happening. And I think when Michael C. Hall's not around, movie's suffering. He is not in like the middle 40 minutes of the film,
right? I don't know why you don't remind him
because
you've even got him like behind like a green screen, kind of just like swiping like midair, just kind of like, I don't mind if he just a monologue for the little 10 minutes. I don't mind.
Oh, he's so good at a monologue. Man, he is so good in Dexter. He is Dexter. You can't. That's why I refuse to watch Original Sin, other than the fact it's behind a Paramount Plus paywall. Okay, I can't. You're telling me
you banging on the Paramount Plus walls like, let me in. I want a bit of Michael.
You gotta give me Michael.
Is he not in it?
No, he's not in that.
That's crazy.
He's got his own revival. It's crazy. Paramount Plus is like, we've only got Dexter. We've only got Dexter.
Why do they have Dexter? Why would Paramount Plus? Was it a Nickelodeon show? Surely.
Probably. Definitely came on after SpongeBob, but like before
Avatar,
iCarly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, iCarly's gritty,
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good way to warm up and then cool down from an ep of D.
Well, you got S, you got D, and then you got IC. You know, it's an aggressive run.
Should we talk about, because I think they also make such a point of it, and I think this is a very Neville, Dean, and Taylor sense of humor, is the character that's playing the wife. He has like a murder kink and a sex kink, and he is like a bigger, sweaty man.
Oh, sorry,
confined to a chair.
Yeah, you need so he's got essentially like a whale-esque man who has 8 screens for a gamer. It's a fun visual, but I mean, in terms of like UI, very poor. You want one dedicated monitor, maybe 2, you know, and you want a good frame rate for these.
Yeah.
They do not have good frame rates. Now, you are right. He is sort of, I guess I get the element of playing the game to like live your fantasy through someone
and being perverted.
Yeah. Because that seems like half. It's a very versatile game. You can also do war, and you can also have sex in it. So very progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much he's going around killing everyone. He's just a little sick little freak, isn't he? Yeah.
And he's just going around, he's just horrible to everybody. And I think what I like most about this subplot is I think the actress that's playing the woman that he is controlling, there is a scene where she is in an elevator and the guy behind her is basically like, do it, kill these 2 people in front of me.
Yeah.
And she has to say that with like her face, but be terrified with her eyes. And she decides to give her all. And she's incredible in that little scene.
Yeah.
And you go, wow, this movie's wasted on you giving like so much attempt to this.
There's a lot of elements. There's a lot of elements of this film I'm really chewing into. I think if it had... I do like the visual style, but it definitely just needs like a bit of like a, hey, why are we doing 19 shots, you know? That's fine, but there's a lot that's working, because the world building is kind of creepy. Having like, I guess... I just feel like for all those like Ready Player Ones, they're like, it's a dystopian, like horrible. But this one's kind of the first one, like, looks kind of like hell.
Yeah, what if it's disgusting as possible?
Yeah, but it's also like doing all the base, like, hey, you want it, this is why this would work. You know?
I think if the movie had made a decision about going only the gameplay scenes are going to have this style, or maybe only outside it's going to have that style, and inside it'll have its own style. So like the whole movie's so choppy.
I was a little confused as if like, so it is real life, like it's Avatar robots thing.
Yes.
I kind of thought for the first 3 minutes it was like a virtual reality. It is odd that it is reality, but like a bit like the slums over there kind of have it.
And the people like augmented reality because they can still control human beings. So it's odd that there is like an element of humanity to not living your own life. Odd.
Yeah, it is odd. I do, but there are.
I'm happy to go with the conceit though. I think I'm happy to just sort of get to the end, because the movie sort of goes through just sort of a bit of a slog of Gerard Butler gets let out, and Logan Lerman is happy to help him for whatever reason, and then he gets his wife back, and then he finds out that Dexter's behind it all, and he goes to Dexter. Like that's it, and then the climax happens for 20 minutes.
We should just talk. I want to gush about the scene. When honestly, they have this like his house. They walk in. It's this big white. Have you ever seen the Seed Vault in Antarctica? It's that, but all white.
And this is for whatever reason, suddenly the way they're doing the shadows and the way they're doing like still panning is like, what if we were in Blade Runner 2049 for a minute?
Beautiful, right?
It's gorgeous.
They've got this big, like, massive lighthouse essentially rig that's like doing like big like lights around the whole thing.
And they've got this massive staircase that's casting this shadow that like diagonally cuts through the frame.
Oh my god, it's this. You are right. The shadows cast this beautiful shot on all the henchmen clicking, and Dexter giving these beautiful silhouette movements while he's just been like
and then like drops his limbs.
Yes, it's fantastic. For this scene alone, the film is worthy.
It's a shame nothing else in the movie looks this way, has this tone. Like, this is also fun. Like, the fight scene as well as trackable.
Yeah.
Like this entire sequence.
It's the first choreography one that you're sort of like, oh man, they've got like a little bit of a wide.
Yeah.
And Gerard Butler, I feel like we are going to have to get into this. He's at like an action stunt kind of. That's kind of his bread and butter, and he's really good in this sequence.
Yeah,
here.
he's great in this sequence.
Yeah.
I think he's like meant to be a physical guy, right? So he is happy to do physical things in films. This is the only part he's really happily like able to display it. Everything else has been running and shooting. Finally, some like hand-to-hand combat. I would even say like this sort of this ending is the only part that's like also locked into a narrative that can continue. So it's this sequence followed by him taking on Terry Crews, followed by him taking on Michael C. Hall.
Yes.
That's just finally the narrative's just... It's weird we spent so much time with humans.
Oh, humans is bogged down. I get they are like world building, but I mean, I don't think they have the budget or the time.
And then they kill them all. Again, they just are like, we killed them all.
I guess the only reason they're in the film is so they can broadcast. I couldn't.
I hate
I gotta
this.
tell you,
I hate when this happens in movies. I'm looking at you, Coco,
Coco.
and
Yeah.
like the ones where they're just like, what if the villain was broadcast being rude and mean and bad? And you're like, oh, okay, I guess.
I gotta tell you, if Mark Zuckerberg, there was like leaked audio of him being like,
we now know nobody cares.
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, yeah, we all kind of know that.
Yeah.
You mean that evil corporation that's brainwashing criminals into killing each other is? But I know. We all know.
If there was genuinely a video of like Mark Zuckerberg coming out and shooting a man that was innocent, nobody would bat an eye.
He was just like, will this make Facebook slightly faster? Yes. Bang. I'll do it again. You're like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
he's like he had a wife and kids. You want me to do them on screen as well? And everyone goes, yep.
Here's the thing: if there's a way to make YouTube Shorts, like if I could watch like 4 YouTube Shorts in a row, I don't mind having people die. I just think that's worthy of like sacrifice.
You're locked in, and that's what matters.
100%.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a small nation dying for YouTube Shorts to be directly beaten to my brain.
Yeah,
that's just my thoughts.
I think it's funny that there's even. It's an odd ending as well because it really goes to show how superfluous it was even to have Terry Crews in the movie.
Oh,
when
yeah.
it turns into the fact that Michael C. Hall is just as ripped and villainous and scary.
I gotta tell you, I did not. Maybe I feel like
He's ripped in Dexter, but this was fucking insane.
this was insane.
He was insane.
He was insane. It was very well hidden. If I remember correctly, everyone was fawning over Dexter being like a lumberjack for like the season. Everyone was like, he's hot. This was crazy. 'Cause he's wearing
so
like
ripped.
he's like a Chairman Mao thing for the whole time. So when he reveals his fucking like I don't know his cum guzzling 9-pack, holy shit! I kind of remember rooting for him. I don't think Gerard's got it in him.
Absolutely. I was like, Gerard, either take your shirt off or walk home or lose a pound.
Hang your head.
Hang your head in shame.
Do Snoopy walk away, it's just not on.
Oscar, a chaotic episode for a chaotic film.
Yes,
But I think
gotta remember, guys, we've cut aggressively. It's not on YouTube. We couldn't get the money, but we've got a camera that's attached to a car and it's been driving around circles. That's how we've been filming most of the episode.
Yeah. It really is horrible.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
You gotta check it out, guys. You gotta check it out. Carl, who would watch Gamer?
I think it's definitely for people. I can see this as a natural evolution of Crank. Like, it is a bigger budget. There is more happening. I can see where they thought maybe they'd be onto something by taking a chance on these guys. I think if you liked Crank, you would have a softer spot for this movie. I haven't seen Crank in a while, but I did quite like it. But I thought this movie was particularly nauseating. It's also just kind of boring, which is the same issue that they had with Ghost Rider. That Spirit of Vengeance one.
Yeah.
Where it's just the opening's chaotic and fun, and then the ending's really bizarre, but then the middle's just really boring. And I think that's the same here, unfortunately. But who do I think would watch this? I still think your best bet is going to be a 15-year-old. I think they're the one that would go for this.
It's a bad cementing for my review because I think I'm not so hateful of it. I quite enjoy this film. I think the visual style, while it is nauseating, definitely feeds into the world building of this sort of, I don't know, not cyberpunk, but this sort of, if you had to be like, we're doing the internet and we're kind of splaying it out in 2009, it probably would look like this horrible little landscape. And I do think it's tackling themes that have been tried to tackled in films that have come out in the last 5 years a lot better, or doing a bit more interesting, or have a bit more of an interesting thing to say about it. I do think it is gratuitous, but maybe that's sort of the point. I know that's like their theme in a lot of them.
Yeah, I think all of their films are gratuitous.
It peters.
I think the vibe is right here.
Yeah.
I think everything vibe-wise is right here. I like what the movie is essentially attempting to go for. It's just that
I feel like, is it Fifth Element? I feel like the Fifth Element gets like a lot of love. I don't love the Fifth Element that much, but I feel like this is doing everything the Fifth Element's doing. Again, I am surprised the budget's 50 million. I really did think, I'm like, wow, they've really nailed it on 10 million. So when it's 50, I've kind of gone, damn, you guys. Saying that, there's one scene where there's like snow plows just going through the streets, and that looks terrific.
They've been given so much money for whatever reason. I couldn't tell you. But who do you think it's for?
Oh, I gotta tell you, if you just like having a headache, because I had a headache. Again, guys, to enjoy this film, you gotta Geostorm and then go into that, because we'll talk about it. But Geostorm was one of my least favorite films we've watched the year. So when I came in with a bit of energy, and they were like, "Listen, we're not really gonna even talk at you. We're not even gonna pretend to even have a plot premise. We're just gonna give you a bit of vibe." I was all in. So guys, check it out. If you've just watched Geostorm, check out Gamer. You're gonna love it.
This isn't important, but in today's money, this is a near $80 million film.
Wow. You'd just be pissed because I get there is money on screen, but they've then saturated the screen in this horrible brown and then cut away from it seconds after they've shot. You go, damn it.
It's not a single money shot. I'd love to know what a trailer looked like, to be honest. I don't know what your selling point of a trailer is.
I think I was so surprised because I saw the poster and I was like, man, this is not what is advertised at all. It looks like such a Die Hard 5 sort of ripoff. So when it's like pretty like not avant-garde, but just like we're going for the walls, it should be on the poster somewhere.
It is weird that I think it's plot that it sort of needs to pay attention to is the connection between Logan Lerman and Gerard Butler, because that's the one where it's like that's a game player and then a playable human, and you can get that because you play games, and you've played a game, and I've played a character, like, you know what I mean? So it's weird that all he does is he plays Gerard Butler once, and then he goes home, and then he kills Dexter at the end, and that's it. It is crazy a 17-year-old kills someone at the end and everyone like applauds.
Imagine that. Imagine if just someone's like, yeah, I got this a drone and then I just fucking killed Jeff Bezos. I just did it. I just did it. Yeah, we all cheered. It was pretty crazy Tuesday. Pretty bonkers Tuesday.
Oscar, what are we doing next week?
Next week, and I'm just confirming, Nim's Island?
We're doing Nim's Island.
Terrific. Because I have notes on Nim's Island.
We're so far away. I hope you have to watch Geostorm again. I
genuinely might, because it's
insane.
It's so fucking boring, and it's such a stupid. I really have got like a lot of anger. Like, it's so long. It feels like one of it. What's the guy who does like all the disaster movies?
Yeah, Roland Emmerich.
Like, he always does like a 2-hour 90-minute one, and this one was like an hour 30, and it felt so fucking long. It's so dumb, and it doesn't even want to do its whole thing. God, it's just fucking dreadful. Nim's Island though next week.
Yeah, you'll have to wait long. Here's the thing. I reckon if we just sub in Olympus Has Fallen, let's hold on to Geostorm for a few more months, until we get to like 2012 and stuff.
I think it'd be good.
I think if we can get you sort of edging Geostorm every month, like you've got to watch it at the beginning of the month, and then for me to just move it another month away, that's a good vibe.
I really might have to rewatch it. I could not tell you I couldn't tell you a single person's character. Max. The nerdy guy.
Is that Andy Garcia?
No, it's not Andy Garcia.
Please tell me it's Andy Garcia.
It is not Andy Garcia.
You're telling me Andy Garcia doesn't play Max?
That might be his least. He's the laziest everyone. Ed Harris is also in the film. No one's trying.
Oh, that's got to be a villain, right?
Oh, yeah.
Man, you can pick it anywhere.
They're doing like a red, like, is it the Russians? And then Ed Harris shows up on screen for like after, like, okay, so it's probably fucking Ed Harris. It's probably Ed Harris. They have this sneaky evil shot of a Russian. You're like, damn, what a bad red herring. Anyway, that's in a couple.
It's never not Edward Harris, is it?
He's so fucking villainous.
He's so villainous.
God, he's good. Anyway, Nim's Island next week, and what, Geostorm in 3 months' time?
Yeah, for sure. Geostorm Christmas special, Nim's Island coming right up.